Okay, so use the equation. It shouldn't say equation, it should say inequality. Because as soon as you have that inequality symbol, it turns into an inequality, even though there's a boundary line that has the same equation, right? Same notation. State the above inequality in slope-intercept form. So you would probably do something like this, right? Divide everything by 2, and because you're not dividing by a negative, it just stays that way. Okay, so I would say 1 or nothing on this one. That's what I expect to see there. Would the graph of this inequality be solid or dashed? It would be dashed because it doesn't have the equal sign underneath it. True or false, the points on the boundary line are part of the solution. That's a false statement because it doesn't have the equal sign. So, which region represents the solution, above or below the boundary line? It's below, right? Because it's less than. So that is it. So everything is worth a mark here. If using reverse shading, which region would you shade? Above. Above line. Okay. You're doing the exact opposite when you use reverse shading. Is the solution for x is less than -5 the left or the right side of the boundary? It's left, yeah, because it's less than. So 1 mark there. Is the following statement true or false? False, yes. I like to use this. If I had given you this, is that a true statement? Because it meets the equal part. This is saying it has to be less than or equal to. Okay. I'm going to clean my room and then I'm going to go play hockey. If you only clean your room, you don't. If you say or, right, you're not lying. You've done one of the two. Okay. State the inequality graphed in the diagram to the right. So once the inequality for this. So again, it's solid and the solution is below. So right away you start like that. Okay. I'll give you a mark for that first part. Okay, and then I'll give you another mark for what follows. So this goes through 4. And what's the slope? It's 1, 2, 1. So there's a 2 drop, 1 run. So this would be -2x plus 4. I'll give you another mark for that second part. So 1 mark for this. Should probably put that there. 1 mark for having the inequality the way it's supposed to be, and 1 mark for the second part there. So if you have anything wrong in here, sign, anything, you lose out full mark, but you still get 1 out of 2 if you have the first part right. So I'm just going to go to 8 and just say that's the one that's worth 2 marks. Is the graph to the right an example of regular or reverse shading? It's regular because the solution region has been shaded. I know it's a bit hard to see, but it is slightly darker than above the line. State the slope of a vertical line. It's undefined. It's not 0, it's undefined. Okay. Calculate the x-intercept for this one. You just let this be 0, right? That's gone. So it's 3x is equal to -12 because the 12 comes over subtracting. You divide both sides by 3. X is equal to -4. Okay. That is your x-intercept. 1 mark for that. Calculate the y-intercept. We let 3x equal to 0, so it's 6y is equal to -12 because the 12 comes over. Divide both sides by 6. Y is equal to -2. So that's your y-intercept there. 1 mark for that. What cases can you use cosine? There's only 2. Side, side, side. So you can just write it out when you know all 3 sides or when you have 2 sides and the angle in between. I like to use these letters. So those are the 2 cases you can use cosine law. Blast from the past. I don't know how you did here. The range for this, so you could have graphed it using your calculator. It's absolutely an option, but what form is this in? Vertex form, right? So that tells me that the vertex is 4 8. Yes, this part always changes sign when you bring it out. It changes sign when you bring it in, right? So it's vice versa. So this, and which way is this pointing, by the way? What? A is right there. And A is positive, correct? So I know that my vertex is, like if this is my, you can just do a little sketch. 4, 8 is somewhere here. This is doing that, right? Where this is 4, 8. And so based on that, my range, you can say y is going to be greater than or equal to 8. That's the lowest y value. Or you could say 8 all the way to infinity, where 8 gets a square bracket and the infinity gets a round bracket. So 1 mark, regardless of which method which notation you used. State the domain. I hope you got this one, because there's no word problem attached to this. It's all real numbers, or negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay. So we are, this is going to be 16, worth 16, because question 8 is worth 2. So somewhere on this paper, just add it up. We're not going to sweat it too much, because at this point you've written dozens and dozens of ACs. So half a mark above or below, it's not going to make a difference really. Okay, so